Right. All right, we're going live.
even though you could both be serial killers waiting.
I mean, really, yeah.
Think about it.
Waiting to murder a stripper.
Mickey and Mallory.
Right?
I haven't seen that movie in years.
It's a great fucking movie.
Great. That scene where they fucking kick Rage in. Fucking bomb track. When he hits that dude, that cop with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Right,
I forgot about that. It's like Rodney Dangerfield. Why don't you go up and take a shower? And I'll go see how clean you are.
What a fucking weird ass movie.
Perfectly cast. That fucking creepy rapist stepdad.
I don't think it would have been as good as it was if it wasn't Oliver Stone directing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like if Tarantino had directed it, because he wrote it. If he had directed it,
Well, I guess I didn't know
that movie would have been fucking way different. You know what I mean? Like Oliver Stone brought his brand of fucking nutso to that shit.
Oh yeah, he definitely had. I watched JFK like a few months ago.
I've still never seen that one.
It's kind of a fucking nutso like
It's
schizo
like a weirdo
documentary fucking weird shit, man.
Yeah, dude. It's
Like
super
he's convicted. Like he believes in whatever
Have you
the
ever seen
fuck
that
he is
W
doing.
movie
No,
he
I
did
haven't
about
seen that.
Bush?
No.
Really good.
Hasn't he done one on pretty much every president except up to Obama? He hasn't done Obama
Did he
or
do Clinton?
Trump. Oh, good point. You know, maybe he has done Clinton. But he did Nixon. Maybe he didn't do Reagan.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe just
Anyway,
the bastards.
all right. Are we going here? We're good?
We're
we go.
going.
Live? Fuck it, let's do it live. This episode of the Red Eye Report, we discuss jizz moppers. We mourn Her Majesty Lizzie, and as usual, we praise the glory of Shaquille Chunky Cum O'Neal. Or Shaquille, sorry, not Shaquille. Who once single-handedly drowned an entire sorority house with his hot, chunky cum.
That's right. The only survivors floated on the chunks.
Jesus
With me
Christ.
this week is the Teddy. Teddy used to frequent adult bookstores back in the 90s until they stopped selling the real monstrous strap-ons. You remember those with like the big 1.5 cocks on them? Yeah, because what's the point otherwise, right, Teddy?
That's not why I go to the adult strip club, but hey,
That is exactly why you go.
Was it? It was a bookstore, wasn't it? What the fuck kind of bookstore is this?
It's an adult bookstore.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
right? Haven't you ever been to
They
an
call
adult
them.
bookstore?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I
Next to
thought
him
we were
is the
talking
all-seeing
Barnes and
Oracle.
Noble.
Oracle does not need an adults-only store to apply his signature cum style. Nope, just an employee bathroom and a Britney Spears DVD.
That's right. True story.
Shakalaka boom.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
All right, we've also got a soot-covered ashtray. Along with his 24 other jobs, he's also a silent partner in an adult bookstore in Madison. Not going to tell you which one, though. That would make it creepy. Last and least, I'm the Mistic. My real job is actually that of a jizz mopper. The guy that cleans up the Noody booths after someone gets done. It pays shitty, but I'll be damned if it isn't a good way to blackmail people. And this is the Red Eye Report.
Yeah.
So, a little off about adult bookstores. Me and my wife went to one in St. Louis for our anniversary to get some condoms and stuff. And we Googled one. It said adult bookstore superstore, like mega store, whatever. And we get there, and it is like 2 stores rented out, but it was the barest shit ever.
Like really spread out.
Yeah, and then for condoms, we wanted like a box of condoms. They had them like singles and shit. I'm like, okay, we can get better condoms at fucking Walgreens.
At the truck stop.
I'm like, shit. I was like, this is a mega store.
Yeah.
Is this what?
We used to have. Oh, go ahead.
So anyway, I was thinking of I was gonna do just straight cam girls, right? Like this whole cam girl culture here that's with the internet, obviously, that's taken.
It's just a
porn to
new
level.
iteration.
Right, exactly. So I thought of here's the beginnings, basically, the sex shop, right? The adult bookstore, the fucking
The arcade.
You go into the little nudie booth and shit, right? So, there's a retailer that sells fucking whatever, sex toys, lingerie, clothing, pornography. Oh yeah. Here we go.
Oh yeah. Which
We are benefiting Snuggles.
Oh,
He is a hedgehog.
I'm gonna
Yes,
use one
he's
of
a
my
hedgehog
I'm
named
gonna use
Snuggles.
one of my nudie lighters.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's straight up in there.
All right, ready? Go.
That's checking the oil level.
Yeah,
I think we've
love so
had
much when you ask me,
multiple
you got light?
hedgehogs.
So I hand them the lighter and they're like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like the
Oh, yeah.
DP lighter, like am I looking at it's like a close
Oh yeah, because it's so.
They're like, what am I looking at? I'm like, you're looking exactly what you're looking at. Can you guess which hole is which? They're like, what the fuck?
For novelty use only.
Yeah,
All right.
pretty good.
So a sex shop, also known as an adult shop, erotic shop, adult entertainment, or bookstore. Selling sex toys, lingerie, clothing, pornography, like you do. So arguably the grandmother of the modern sex shop was a chain of stores set up in the 1920s by Leon Vidal of Diana Slip fame. Whatever that is. Do you guys know what Diana
fame,
Slip?
huh?
No.
Oh, slip.
Slip. The slip. The lingerie piece. The slip.
Oh, the slip.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I know what that is.
Early 20th century French manufacturer of lingerie.
It's what those flappers wore to get to their
His
flap.
shop sold erotic books, photographs, and lingerie. The first official sex shop.
This was in the
they
20s?
say. Yeah, in Paris.
Oh, okay, in Paris. Okay, I was like, I know one in the U.S.
Yeah,
If you
so
think about it, photographs were around.
well, yeah.
Well, I know
First
the
official-
material was around, right? But the first person to actually get it together and try to sell it as a thing.
Of course, it'd be a Frenchman.
Well, yeah. Well, Europeans are way more
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I get it.
liberal in their sexual views anyway. So supposedly the world's first official sex shop was opened in 1962 by some dude in Flensburg, West
Some
Germany.
dude.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, man. It's like-
1962.
yeah.
Wow. That's surprising.
Yeah.
His
I
name's
mean,
like
it's
Yves
still new.
Boussac. Anyway,
Perfect. I think you nailed it.
yeah.
Like one
So,
of those terrible photos.
So anyway, so some of these places. Have you guys ever been to one that had the actual Noody, the private video booths?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never actually used the
I don't think
private
so.
boost though.
Yes, they had.
So-
They had. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
The only one that I've seen had like video booths. Have you ever been to one that had like a strip tease or like a peep show?
Yes, and we saw.
No, where
we
there's
saw it in
actual
Paris.
live girls, right?
Where it's actually a live girl.
Yeah, we saw it. Yeah, we saw it in Paris. You could
Oh,
you
that'd be
could pick the
cool.
girl and go in there and watch what you wanted to see, and she do a little strip.
Oh, you get to pick the girl beforehand, so it's not like
Yeah.
a mystery.
It's not like a mystery. They have a picture of the girl.
Like
So you
you
can
pull
see.
up, and it's fucking Fat Mary back there.
Right? Rolling in the dog bed. Bok
Right.
chaka chaka.
Big old T-Rex coming for you.
So Australia also in the 60s started getting some sex shops. One's called King's Cross, which I guess is apparently real popular there to this day. China, mainland China's first sex shop. Guess Beijing. What year did it open?
Ooh,
1997.
1642.
97. That's really close. 93.
Mm.
And by 2013, 20 years later, there were over 2,000 sex shops. Most of their products were made in China.
Yeah.
Canada, first sex shop in North America was called The Garden. It was opened in October 1971 by Ivor Sargent on Crescent Street in downtown Montreal, Quebec.
I would have
Which
named it
makes
the
sense.
Moose Knuckle.
Yeah, right. Which makes sense. I mean, I
The home
think
run.
prostitution is legal in Quebec, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Look,
Glory
look
holes
that up,
are.
Oracle. Oracle, bring up some videos of it.
You look it up.
Yeah, you some bitch.
Italy's first sex shop was in 72 in Milan. Japan. They don't even have a date for Japan. Just
They didn't
says,
need one. They've been doing sexy shit since the fucking
yeah, they've been doing
back
shit
in the
since the
day.
beginning of time.
Yeah.
No,
oh,
wait. Is
yeah.
the Kama Sutra from Japan or is that from
India.
No, that's India.
India.
So,
Is he-
yeah. So basically, we know what the sex shop is, right? So none of you have seen the live. Have you actually seen a live show, Teddy, or any of
No.
you?
No.
Tijuana.
I've seen strip club shows. That's about it. I haven't seen like live sex shows. No.
Oh yeah, no, I have. Well, no, I take that back. I remember I had I was brief partner of an amateur porn company, so I helped film some of those very live shows.
I remember that. Yeah.
Word. So, I guess that's it, like it's creepy to me that it would be creepy doing it in a situation of an adult bookstore. But like then you look at a strip club, and it's effectively the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
with the adult
a different
bookstore,
setting.
it's always you have a separated like window barrier.
Oh right, because
You
you're
don't
jerking
have
off. Obviously.
Well, that and
that's the whole fucking purpose of that little booth is to jack it. I mean, let's be
think-
honest.
Right.
It's creepier in the bookstore because the
'Cause you're
viewer
jerking off.
is in a dark little room, beating
Right.
off like a monkey on an Adderall pitcher.
Pumping
Right.
Fucking,
Whereas,
pumping
like,
fucking tens into this machine and shit.
you know, imagine like a
jacking it.
strip club. Like, what would you do? Put up like fucking cubicle partitions, where it's like you just see the top of their head.
Right.
Hey,
Right, but you still have to have some sort of
the.
decorum in the strip
Exactly.
club. You know what I mean? Like you still have to have some sort of like social grace. You can't just be
Well,
banging each
Right.
other.
So
You
what?
can't jerk off in a strip club at all.
Well, yeah, and
Right.
that's the thing. So what do you
At
think is the cutoff? So here's an interesting question. At a strip club, how many people are there for the spectacle of the whole thing, you know, and just like the party vibe or whatever, versus pervos that are like jacking off in their pants or whatever in the corner?
I think it's an even
80-20.
mix. I think it's like an even or an even
You think
mix.
it's even?
I think it's even because
I don't know.
they're regulars. They're regulars at strip clubs. They go to see their favorite girls and stuff.
Oh, there are regulars,
It's-
but
it's-
I don't know like how much borderline you draw it as pervert or not. Like they're also just lonely old men. Like
Apparently,
realistically,
none of y'all
no,
have
they're
ever
not
seen
going to be
the
like
Players
fucking. Listen, I'm just trying to lay the groundwork.
I
of
get what you're
justification
saying.
But the
for my
cutoff
future
for
self.
people in the bookstore, I'd say that's 90-10%. 90 possible serial killer fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
10%
10% for
normal
like, hey, I've
fucking.
never done
Have
this.
you
Right.
seen some of the sizes of the dildos in these fucking stores? I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
It's like
why you
trading
go
for these.
there?
So there used to be
We
this
just said that
store
10 minutes ago.
called State Street Arcade, which I tricked a friend or two into. Yeah, right. Like it was an old staple. Tricked a number of friends into thinking it was an actual like retro arcade. And anyways, we knew one of the tellers who worked the shift, and she said that well, not only is the guy who mops the booth, he is like that's all he does. He just comes in like for like a
Jizz
certain
mop.
window, and he gets paid more than anyone.
Obviously.
Well, yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
he's not popping up jizz.
And you were talking about the big dildos. Her story was about because I was laughing. I'm like, they had the Mr. Ed there, this big fucking black horse cock, and she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, because I was like, does anyone ever actually buy this? She's like, oh yeah. Like, she's like, the more recent one was a group of like 6 punk rock kids who like pooled their money together to buy the big black Mr. Ed, and she's like, they weren't even out of the door before they had out of the box, and they were whipping each other with it.
How much is one of them fucking things?
Oh, God, the
how
Mr.
much
Ed?
would they have to pay for that? That's
Nowadays, well, see, back then, I bet you that was maybe $50-$60, but I bet
Oh, yeah,
nowadays
definitely.
it's probably
Inflation,
Fuck it,
that's
well, yeah,
over
with
all.
inflation.
75, 90.
It probably
Thanks,
went down
Obama.
in size too. It's probably not even 14
Right.
inches. It's probably fucking 12 now.
Oh yeah. But
Right, likes that big old
yeah,
14 inch
that
motherfucker.
that old State Street Arcade ain't there anymore. Rest in peace.
God, you remember those commercials we used to do? Jesus Christ. Anyway. Anyway, so that got me thinking these cam girls, man.
Mhm.
Like, how have you guys? So I assume you have seen cams. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we all watch porn.
We all
It's
watch
fine.
porn.
It's fine.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying like just a private like.
I-
Cam, like
I
you're just
remember,
watching one girl perform.
I was
No,
at
I'm
a
not into
party.
that kind of thing, though.
I was at a party in like, I don't know, it must have been around, I think around like 2008 or something. And this dude, he was just kind of like this pasty, kind of little pudgy guy, and he had his laptop, like this big, like huge ass screen, and I'm like, hey, what you doing over there? And I look at it, and this is just like a party. It's like a pool party, like where people are drinking, having a good time, and he's got like fucking like 12 cam girls up on his laptop, like watching this at this like normal party, like a social fucking event.
Wow.
So yeah, that's my exposure
like
to
12
that.
different cam girls.
Right.
I've got to worse. This back before we had cams at VHS. There was a guy who worked with us at Little Caesars. Creepy older guy. He kept always wanting to come over and smoke and hang out. And we finally, like 4 of us finally did. And it was the biggest mistake we ever did because he took us to his den, and it was from the floor to the ceiling was all VHS tapes, and it was all porn.
Oh,
Jesus. Like he was showing off his man cave, which was really
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
he knew he had him like categorized new. So like we're smoking his joint. I mean, he's like tossing on point. This chick is blah, blah, and we're like, dude, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck
It was before cams. I mean, I've never seen ceiling to floor. DVD,
oh, dude, I've seen. I knew a dude like that too.
And
Like he knew, like he would just sit there and we'd be partying. And he would we'd be watching porn.
I'm like, geez.
It's like
It was
Ben,
ridiculous. I'm
Ben at
like,
Smut and Eggs here in Madison, where you could go for brunch,
I've been there.
and porn's just playing in the background.
Brunch?
But the thing is, like,
They have brunch now because it was like 6 in the morning that we had to go there when I went there. Back in the late 90s.
Fucking
brunch
millennials,
in the sense
man.
that, like, if I don't get up there at 6 in the morning, but yeah, it was breakfast, lunch, or I mean brunch, like.
It was really gross because you go and you're like,
it's
like, man,
greasy.
it'll be cool to eat biscuit and gravy and watch people bang, and then
But
you
it
get
is
there,
like-
and you're like, and then you're
You
like,
see
oh,
the
I'm eating
chunky
biscuit and
cum,
gravy, and
like,
Wait, this is a restaurant that plays
here's your
porn in the
gravy.
Oh yeah, like you're eating breakfast while porn. It is a novelty. Let's put it that way. It's.
What the fuck?
Different.
I've got to go to this place.
Got wild.
I haven't even been to it in years. Like there was. It's moved.
What's the? I mean, it's got to be like 21 and up, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's like a bar.
The bar.
It's a bar that has a greasy breakfast in the morning, and they would sell bumper stickers. You know, Bent, Smut and Eggs. And it kind of just.
And it's on Park.
It was on Park.
Oh, they move.
See, that's the thing is I've been
Like
to
I
that.
said, I haven't
I've been to
there.
the same old one. Yeah. See, like you, I went back to it back in the VHS days.
Yeah.
Like that's how old we are.
I mean, yes. Now it's got to
And
be
it's
like some
the old
gross shit.
cathode ray tubes, like
Yeah.
covered in dust and
Yep.
shit. And it's like,
Absolutely.
you know how bad when you ever watch like porn from pre-2000 porn, like it's just so funny
Their
how.
hair's all weird looking and shit.
Well, not even just the hair,
it's
but
the
the
hair-
video
the hair gets-
quality.
oh yeah.
Even like the, it's like, oh man, it's like no one knew how to act, and then back then in the 90s, it was just like so bad that it's almost like, oh, I can't be bothered. You know?
Okay, so anyway, I got this list here that Oracle won't open because it's
Oh
probably. a
no,
virus.
dude! I've got a hypervisor with it loaded up. So here we go.
Hypervisor.
Let's just.
So these are
get
the
this
most
here.
popular as of September 2022 from this stupid website. The most popular cam sites. So you got Cam Soda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
9.9.
You see a lot of porn stars with the Cam Soda
Cam
sponsorships.
soda.
Oh wow. Okay. Strip Chat.
Mm-hmm.
9.2. Live Jasmine. 9.0. Bim Bim.
Bam, bam.
8.5. And Live Privates. 7.7.
Ooh,
Okay.
That's a big dive there, live privates.
is.
Gotta step your game up.
So do we try one of
this
these?
is
Do we
rated on
click
who?
on this?
Well, it'll just be an ad.
Do we want to?
It'll be an ad. I mean, we click on it.
Yeah.
It'll be an ad. It's not
gonna
gonna be.
ask you to sign up, but
Yeah, it's gonna be an ad. It's not be.
you might as well click on Cam Soda. see
Well,
what
that's
offer
probably enough to get us fucking banned.
Plus- Oh yeah, right about there. We might want to.
yeah,
Careful of
but-
the algorithms.
All
she's
right,
fiddling her
okay,
bean
that's
there.
enough. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
we're back
You're
out there.
welcome, little Jimmy. Back
All
home.
right, this episode will no longer.
But we know you've been staying up late. You better fucking go to bed now.
You know what though? You know, little Jimmy nowadays is like, bitch, you don't even know where
I'm
I've
high
been.
on fucking Xanax.
I'm high on PCP. and
I've
watch-
already fathered 3 children somehow.
I am a cam girl. I just haven't come out to my parents yet.
So Yeah. So, well, we know how they work. Like, the ones I haven't fucking went on some of those shit in years, but the ones that I remember, like, they have like the free shows, but then like you could pay for a private one, right? Like,
That, and I think you
donate
can
more,
tip.
like, yeah, you
Um,
tip or whatever, like.
That's the thing is, most of the cam shows I've seen are, the after the fact, like ported onto Pornhub. But you hear that sound like ding ding. You hear like people are
Yeah.
tipping them, and it's like, oh yeah, here's when I'm gonna really get into it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they like tell them like if you tip enough, you get to tell her like what position,
got my
or, like
lip.
what to do. You know what I mean? Which got me thinking about like,
That's true. Right when she gets into it, she gets her keyboard out. It's like, God damn, you killed the move.
so like there's like the borderline cam shit, like Twitch, right? Like some of the chicks and shit on there.
Yeah, they were. There's one chick, she ended up getting banned because she would walk by her camera naked every now and then.
Yeah,
So
you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like there's.
Weren't
a
we
lot of
just
those-
talking about one of these girls in an episode who's like basically a super hot Twitch?
That's
game
what I'm
player?
going to talk. Yeah, I have her on here next, and that's. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that, like, at what point does this become a legitimate, like, profession to be
Not for some, it
recognized and
has.
not just
Mhm.
right? But she would never have made that much money being
No.
in a fucking, you know what I mean? Any
Strip club.
other. Yeah, in a strip club or anything like that. But she's making over $1 million a month.
That's
Doing this shit
impressive.
on fucking OnlyFans and Twitch and whatever.
yeah,
Right? I hope she saves it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
hit
she
song
better.
don't last
I mean,
forever.
that's, you know.
I mean, if I
that's the
made
thing,
$1 million in a decade, I'd be happy.
Right?
Much less
Like,
a month.
Well, it's funny, some of those people like they make money real fast and they cut. Especially imagine if you're young, because some of these OnlyFans girls are just out of high school, essentially.
Mhm,
And
right.
if they like all of a sudden they find out that like they can like get an easy major and flicking their bean instead of going to 4 years of college, like, and they're making bank all of a sudden. I'm sure it's similar to some of these people who went crazy when they all of a sudden like became millionaires off of early Bitcoin and shit like that.
Yeah, that's true.
It could really easy, especially at a young age, it'd be really easy to trick yourself into thinking that like, well, I could just keep doing this forever. I'm a rich person now, right? So
Right.
I keep flicking my
Right, yeah.
and all of a sudden,
Until it dies out, yeah.
well, it dies out, or a lot of times, it's just like it's usually the gals themselves kind of lose the passion and drive to do it, and then thus lose their fans, and all of a sudden they're just like they're not relevant anymore.
Hmm.
And also, in 5 years later, there's the new hot girl,
And then they're fucking.
and then they're like, oh shit, I got all these bills because I bought all this shit, like.
Right.
And
Hey, you know how much the
standard
insurance on a fucking Ferrari costs?
yeah, my standard of living is like insane now, and I don't want to go back to being poor.
Right.
Someday a problem I hope to.
I mean,
have.
if you were 19 years old and somebody was like, hey, you just need to jack off in front of this camera for a few hours a day or whatever, and you'll make...
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, and you do have to
A
answer. Basically,
resounding yes.
You're
you
right.
become a virtual girlfriend for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, which is creepy as shit.
Yeah.
I remember this documentary thing I watched about her. Like, her house has been attacked, like, twice. Like, people found out where she lived. She had to, like, move one time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Imagine like
couldn't
going out in
have a
public and
life.
stuff. You gotta. I mean, that's why.
you're attracting the most desperate weirdos.
Glasses.
That's the thing
Right.
too. Is like, well, like any artist, you can't control who likes your work.
Right.
You think about
Yeah,
it. You
I
don't
guess.
like you appreciate your fans, but you can't control who likes your work. And yeah, you get motherfucking creeps coming up. And imagine, I saw a perfect meme that was like a behind the scenes from like the new Space Jam movie, right? And it's like on the basketball court, and they're Kobe Bryant's like fucking not Kobe, LeBron is rest in peace, Kobe. running with the basketball, right? And there's the guy who's in like all like the green screen outfit, and he's on rollerblades with the camera, right? And he's like
Yeah.
following Kobe Bryant. It's like, this is what you're like as, you know, the boyfriend of a cam girl. It's like that perfectly sums it up, because you know, a lot of them have boyfriends that help them out with this stuff. I mean, why would I not too if I had a cam girl as a girlfriend?
We have a friend we know who had a girlfriend that was a cam girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she popular? No,
Did he get sick of having to film her all the time? I mean, that's the thing too, is they also share.
He sat in the other room like a fucking chump and played video games.
They share, you know, photos of their day, like, oh, here I'm out getting this ice cream. Oh.
Yeah, but this was like a straight up like fucking. All right, guys, I'm gonna fucking just start shoving this thing in my pussy type of case.
Oh yeah,
This wasn't like Twitch.
Didn't fucking didn't pussyfoot around.
Yeah, we didn't fucking. They didn't beat around the bush. You know, no pun intended. So yeah. Anyway, and I guess that even as a broader like discussion here, not just cam shit, but like at what point does being a streamer or a YouTube fucking something or another actually amount to something? You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, it like has for what's that?
It has for some, but like
Ninja, was that his name? Ninja?
Oh yeah,
like he was like a game streamer.
Them, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, really big, really fast. He was like,
well, there's that fucking
part of the New Year's Eve at New York. Oh yeah, PewDiePie.
Right.
Oh yeah,
there's
Logan Paul.
They're just like fucking. I mean, it's the amount of people that are willing to donate. I mean, look at the Kickstarter shit. A lot of streamers get their money from people donating to them.
Right.
And there's, I mean, it's fucking
Patreon
crazy.
shit.
Patreon.
I don't know.
It was during the pandemic.
Early on, Patreon would actually, it was like an early OnlyFans in the sense that you could sign up for exclusive content for your favorite models.
See, I don't even know what OnlyFans is. I know I like
OnlyFans
explain that, Ashtray.
I can explain OnlyFans. Ashtray has an OnlyFans account. Ashtray tried to start an OnlyFans account for My Light in the sense of thinking I could share the actual uncensored pictures on it, and you have to actually send in a photo of yourself with your ID like you would in a porn film. And went through all that, and they denied me. And I'm assuming because it was like I wasn't trying to show my cock.
Like, yeah, you were selling a product.
We only want your jug. And I was like, but look at my cool lighters.
Well, you should just put your cock out and put the lighter next to it. You're like, see, like this one. This is our new lighter.
New lineup, same time. Anyways, OnlyFans is basically a way where you can get fans. A lot of times it's chicks who will they have Instagram accounts. They also have Reddit accounts, and they share little quick clips and nude content and whatnot, and then and they then spam their link for OnlyFans. OnlyFans is it's not a subscription in itself. It's basically you just decide on you follow whatever models you want.
Yeah. And not everybody's doing porn either. I mean, there's a lot of porn in there, but I mean,
exactly. Not everybody's porn. There's comedians on there.
Really?
And there's also
you can find out type of shit. It's just you have to.
There's plenty of free profiles too. A lot of girls will have a free profile that you can subscribe to, and you stay subscribed to it because there's no charge. But they're usually their naked content is on the charge one, but. You can find a chick you want. It's like they'll have a special. It's like, hey, subscribe to mine for $5. Like $5. You can subscribe for a month and like look at their shit. Sometimes you hit a gold mine. Sometimes it's like, oh, okay, like she's got 10 videos and she's been on here for 2 years. Like, lazy. So you then just unsubscribe. It's like, and also
Jesus.
you can turn off the subscription part, the renewal part, but. Yeah. The way where they really make the money is the gals. They then will list services like dick rating, girlfriend experience, blah blah blah. Like
Dick rating?
Yeah, wait
yeah,
a
dick
second.
rating, so-
Dick rating.
Oh, you
What
haven't
is
heard of the
that?
dick rating?
No, what is that?
What the?
Wait, for the dick
Ranger
rating.
here? What the fuck?
All I got right
Shit
now is
explanation.
shitty Corbell. Dick rating is where you, as a subscriber, pay a certain amount. You know, sometimes it's like $25, $50, but you are allowed to send her a dick pic, and then she will rate it for you. And I'm sure it is not at all influenced by the money that you paid.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's just like, here's a picture of my penis. Now, tell me how awesome it was for the $50. And then
That's
there's
pretty. That's clever. That is.
it is clever. But also like they do the girlfriend experiences where, essentially you are allowed to have a certain amount, like you get to chat directly with them, and they chat back with you like they're your virtual girlfriend or whatever. I don't know.
And that's how you get stalked.
Fucking weird, dude. Right?
Also,
That's
imagine
fucking-
how do you get?
That's how you get ants. You want ants?
Do you want ants? Because that's how you get ants.
Yeah, in the yeah, like imagine being the boyfriend of a successful
Yeah.
cam girl, because the successful ones are successful just like any of these streamers. Is like they keep hustling themselves. Like you think
Right.
I work too much? These motherfuckers are always
yeah,
on, and like your
obviously.
girlfriend's always going to be
But they're
checking her
getting
fucking
paid for
thing.
it. You're not. Well,
Yeah,
I'm looking
and you're
out
that-
for you.
You're that boyfriend who's like,
I'm looking
Yeah.
out for you, dude. I'm just looking
That's
out
what
for
the-
you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've made that dude fucking $6 million, and he bought you some movers.
If-
oh shit. No, I mean I've gotten 2 raises this last year.
Yeah, but the amount of overtime you're working is insane.
It is insane, but it's also it's one of those things. Like, what am I gonna do? Walk away from it?
but okay,
Okay.
so back on track here.
Not in my own good
All right,
conscience.
OnlyFans.
You
once,
could. You could.
once
You got that
again, though, if you were in that position, if I was in that position, I would absolutely be doing the same goddamn thing.
Dude, it's
What's
I
her
would,
face
yeah.
from Trailer Park Boys has an OnlyFans? Trinity? I applied to be your video editor
that's
that one
right.
time.
I forgot about
That's I feel kind of weird about that.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think
was
it was
hers-
nude. It said
nude?
right on
Okay.
it, no nude. No
Yeah.
nude shit.
that. No, if anything, it's like,
She was like a gamer streamer. She played like
Yeah.
fucking Warcraft or all that.
she probably wasn't doing anything good enough to like actually be on part of SwearNet.
All right. Well, anyway, that's our. Any cam girls out there want to talk? Hit Ashtray up.
Yeah, right. Asher just wants to look.
He just wants to look. Anyway, we're moving on to the What's Sexy. This is where we tell you what's sexy and you listen. Oracle first geocache.
So I decided to try out geocaching for the first time. Have you guys done one of those before?
I've heard the term,
No,
but
heard the
is that
term.
where you have to go after coordinates to find a
Yeah.
puzzle or something?
So
or-
you can download an app, geocaching.com, or maybe it's geocache.com, and it's got like this nice app set up. There's like a free version, and you can pay $30 a year, and this kind of unveils all the geocaches. But anyway, when you look on a map in an area or whatever, it will show like the different geocaches. And I had always heard of this. I'd never tried it out. So I decided to try it with a buddy. And this was actually in a place that I had been several times. It was kind of like this high hill area with like a fucking like fire tower on top of it or whatever. A scenic
Is it a
fucking
state park?
It's not a state park. It's like in the county forest or whatever. So
it's still public land.
yeah, still public land. So going up there or whatever, and with the GPS, it kind of gets you in the vicinity of this, and then you have to look around for it. And it was kind of cool because it was under like this rock shelf, and people had covered it up, and it was an ammo can. And I didn't really know what to expect from this, but basically the way at least this one worked, and I think probably a lot of them work, somebody puts one of these out, and they have like a Ziploc bag in there. There was like a notebook.
Full of chunky cum.
Yeah, full of chunky cum.
Yeah, don't trust white people.
No, but it had a like a notebook, like a log book. So anybody that finds it, you'd sign the log book, and then you can put things in there. There were like photos from like the early 2000s. There were
People like leave little souvenirs.
yeah, that's the thing is you're supposed to leave something in the box. And this
So is every geocache similar, where it's like
I think
it's a log to sign into?
yeah, I
and
think
then
they
leave
they
little-
pretty much are, but it's all like a
That's
community
cool.
thing. So it's, you know, you put it out there, and you're kind of, well, the community is the steward of it or whatever. But really, this dude had actually put this box up there in 2002. And the cool thing with the app as well is when you find it, you know, you can kind of check in on the app, but you can send a message to the person that originally set it up and just say like, "Hey, man,
Oh,
awesome."
so the app. I was just wondering. I was like, who puts these out there? Is
Yeah.
it kind of anyone can make
So
a
anybody
geocache?
Yeah.
can. And it's,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, you got to register
We
it
should-
on the
We should
geocache
put,
thing.
like a big box of dildos somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty badass. So
Red Eye
I
Report dildos.
I definitely want to set one up and put one out somewhere cool.
Put it in like
Look at dildos
downtown
and bricks. Here, take a brick. Or a dildo, whatever.
So there you have it.
You gotta bring a lot of dong.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, moving on to me. My Wet Sexy is going to be the Untold series on Netflix. Me and Teddy were talking about it before. I don't think
Yep.
either you two have seen any of these, but they're.
Mm-mm.
I talked about one actually. I don't know if I did the whole show on it or not, but it was the dude who was the real life basis for Tony Soprano.
Yo,
He
Oh,
brought his son that fucking
that
that
was what
hockey team.
that was part of that series.
Yeah,
yeah.
Untold
Oh, I
series,
watched that.
yeah.
That was fucking awesome. I didn't realize that it was like part of a larger thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
old
just
ones,
dropped
yeah.
some new ones.
Yeah.
And there's like an NBA one that's about this NBA ref that fucking was betting on games and
Betting
shit,
on games,
and like
yeah.
that he was calling.
Yeah.
And then there's the one about the sailboat racing, the fucking yachting, America's Cup shit. And then I watched the And One, and also the Manti Te'o one, which is just weird.
It's fucking weird.
Super
I watched it with
fucking weird.
the girlfriend.
What's that
didn't
name?
exist.
Manti Te'o. Who is that?
The
He
girlfriend.
was a
didn't exist.
linebacker for
Notre Dame.
Fighting Irish. And he was like the number one fucking college player in the United States at this time, right? And he had like an internet girlfriend.
Oh, is this a
I think
I
catfish?
think I remember hearing something
And
about that.
she
Yeah.
was like it was a dude catfishing him.
Hmm.
And
Poor bastard.
she said that he died and shit, and like he like fucking, you know what I mean, like his grandma died, and then the same day like he
Yeah.
finds out that his like internet girlfriend dies.
Isn't
You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
Oh,
People were
this.
like, this is a weird fucking story, and then like it came out that he was being catfished, and it just turned into like some real crazy weird shit,
How emasculating to be catfished.
right?
Yeah.
Especially by a dude that later on became a woman.
Oh, what a dirty whore. That's nasty. That's
Anyway,
dirty.
it's a great series. They put them the way they put them. It's not like a 30 for 30, like an ESPN 30 for 30, where it's more like about the sport itself. It's kind of about just the fucking craziness of some of these stories, like not just the sport part of it, but the fucking lunacy surrounding it all. Yeah. Anyway, Teddy. Rick and Morty season 6.
Rick and Morty season 6
Did it just start?
premiere. It did just started last Sunday. I'm actually happy about this. We're not the last few times we've had to wait 2-3 years between a season, but after they signed this contract with to get those extra 70 episodes, we only had to wait a year for this one. Started off right where the end of season 5 left off, and I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be different. And you also get to see the
one
original
episode out.
Just one episode out, yes. Came out September 4th.
So, what? Say that again. How was this new contract make it so that we didn't have to wait as long?
Well, because Adult Swim ordered 70. They ordered 70 episodes from them. Before they would order.
Oh,
they
so it's kind
order
of like they ordered
chunk.
multiple seasons ahead of time.
Yeah, at a time, yeah. And before they were like, "Hey, we're ordering the next season for you guys." Like, okay, cool. And then they take their time and fucking do it. But also, it's very. I mean, I get Justin Roiland is very busy. He also they do have that game coming out. It's like Happy for Life, I think it's called.
Yeah, that looks cool. Like the guns are like
the guns
fucking.
that are talking and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
and then
so is that a Rick and Morty game or it's just
the guy who yeah, it's made by it's made by
It
guys
definitely
who
has a Rick and Morty feel to it, or a visual look to it, anyway.
And he also did the Solar Opposites. So
Oh, I heard that's good. I
That's
have
a
not
good
seen
show.
it.
I get
What's
he's busy
that
with
on? Solar Opposites.
Hulu.
Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Too many things
Yeah,
to subscribe to.
season 6
I don't have
looks like
time
it's
to
gonna
watch.
be fucking awesome. So let's check it out.
Don't tell me what to do.
I will tell you everything.
Ashtray. Tim Tillin.
Tim Dillon. Have you guys seen the comedian Tim Dillon? I guess.
Sounds familiar.
Introduced him. Okay, so what I remember him from, or what I think I maybe first saw him was, he was the other guy in the room in that infamous Joe Rogan interviewing Alex Jones episode.
Oh, really? Okay.
And yeah, so he's I would describe him as like he's got the kind of irreverent like nasty humor of Ricky Gervais, but with the bombastic kind of crazy personality of Chris Farley, and like doing like really ridiculous impersonations. And he's like a recovered, basically at a really young age in high school, like became a cokehead and an alcoholic, and then in his 20s, and he like spent a chunk of his career in his 20s selling subprime loans to people, and like some of his comedies like talking about this and like just how fucked up it was. And anyways, like he's got a lot of good stories from this period. He is now sober, and he also like came out gay like late, so he's like I don't know, being gay is just kind of like it's just in some of his talk, but like it is not at all like, it's not like I'm a gay comedian at all, but like how so he in a way though, like the funniest gay people can be, like they can get away with saying some like the most ridiculous horrible shit. And anyways, he had that, like I sent that, I was coming home late last night and he was talking about that he has a special on Netflix. But anyways, he's got a podcast too. He's talking about how this property in Austin that he has wants to turn into an Airbnb, but an Airbnb for pig people, like pig women who are coming down to Austin. Basically, it's like the same kind of crowd as Nashville, like the bachelorette parties.
And they're called pig women?
That's what he's calling them.
I've never heard that.
He, of course, it's like, this is his just like.
'Cause I was curious. I was like, what the fuck is a pig woman? Where do white
He's talking
people
about
come
like
up with this shit?
overweight women who are like, 34 and they're in their second marriage, and they're like, I've been working all year to drop this 30 pounds for my wedding, but tonight we're having fun. And you're like, you're gonna let loose.
What?
And
Fucking
anyways, he's just like gets that's where he had that ridiculous comment. He's like, we want this Airbnb to be like, we want women to know, like, we want you to get nasty. Like, get the kiddie pool out, fill it full of SpaghettiOs, and just finger bang yourselves in the backyard. If you haven't seen him, he's got a special on Netflix. fucking hilarious partake. I guess it got that kind of recovered cokehead alcoholic like perspective, and I guess it's kind of one of those things too where like I don't think he could be anywhere near as funny without, even though he is now sober. So maybe if I got sober, I could be a successful comedian too.
Awesome.
Word. All right. Moving on to the fuck what you think. Oracle sexual orientation question on Job app.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you ace it?
So filling out these goddamn job applications or whatever, and through like Indeed and whatnot, you know, it's you can pump these fuckers out pretty quickly. And this one pops up, and it's like, okay, so first thing it asks, like, what are your pronouns? I'm like, okay, whatever, you know, I don't give a shit, whatever. He is, whatever the fuck.
Like an option to be like,
you can say I don't know, but then the next question, you know, it's like, oh well, that's cool. So I'm going to ask the next question. What is your sexual orientation? And it was like straight fucking bi, whatever
illegal?
sexual.
That is super
illegal, right? And it's like, you can't be fucking asking that
what
shit.
What company was this?
I have no idea. Some fucking
I would
instructional.
have taken note.
Some instructional design fucking contractor or whatever, but it was just
Probably
like
for the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, I can't remember what company
I
it
can't
was
imagine
for.
a conservative leaning like we don't actually factor that into our profit equation company would ask such questions. I can only imagine that like a very like over leaning progressive company
Right.
would be like, we want to make
The
sure.
audacity to ask it. Yeah.
Well,
if I had
they
that
have the
company-
audacity because they're trying to reach equity metrics.
Right.
There are companies. I don't know if you've heard those stories about BlackRock and all of these companies, their investments, Netflix being one of them, where like they start taking majority hold investments in some of these companies, and some of these like ridiculous, I guess, overreaches to try to show that they're being equitable, and which looks so stupid in public, are actually because of BlackRock's pressure. I shit you not. It's not just like, oh, we're just trying to please the masses. No, they're actually making a fool sometimes. Sometimes they do pull off, you know, and it looked good PR. But there are other times where it's like you're doing this actually because of the investor pressure.
So I've never heard of this BlackRock. You said they own fucking Netflix?
Oh, fuck, I know. Oh, they own everything.
Really?
BlackRock.
Who are they, Ashtray?
All right. They're the
Fucking
globalists.
Illuminati.
It was
Use
a
adrenochrome.
fucking-
Lizard
Fucking
people.
survive.
I'm moving on.
Yeah, it was a rhetorical question.
Me, Lamb of God, retire, please. That's all I'm gonna say. They have their new video out there. It's like a lyric video. Watch it if you want. It's not good. Like I don't get. The last like 4 albums have been the exact same album.
Yes.
And every song is the exact same song. And all these metalheads are like, oh my God, they're the greatest band in the world.
Yeah.
Fucking wrong with you. There's
Not-
so many other great bands out there right now that you
Right.
could fucking be chilling with if you're into this style of music.
Right.
Man, they're 50 some years old, dude. I get it, but like,
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it where it just doesn't fucking hit anymore.
no, it doesn't.
It's really flat.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm just fucking, I'm getting sick of more of the metalhead people that fucking they're doing to them like kind of what fucking Metallica, like I don't think Metallica has put out a good album for fucking 30 years in my opinion. It's a fucking, it's a
I haven't
recycled rock
listened to
bullshit, dude.
Metallica albums since fucking
I've listened
Like,
to like
Loaded.
at least half of every
when they cut
one.
their hair. That's when I was like, as of I don't know how old I was.
Guess I haven't listened to all
Sold
of them, so
out.
I shouldn't make assumptions. but-
Well, I mean, one thing that you can say about Metallica, though, is when they came out with these albums, they had a different sound. They
right, you're right.
They
right.
were
did change. Sure.
it changed. Maybe it wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it was a different sound. Whereas with the Lamb of God stuff, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, right.
Except with diminishing returns every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you can get, man. Sometimes it's like, how often can you squeeze the lemon?
Mm.
So the juice runs down your leg, baby. All right, Ashtray, BlackRock.
Where? Fucking like, you ever heard of here's a little quick YouTube brief on BlackRock, the company that owns the world. Basically, they've got they're a money management company, but they're also invested. See, the assets left in their care are worth a staggering of $6.3 trillion US dollars.
Holy fucking shit!
Holy shit!
6.3 trillion. Yeah, if you
that's how much their firm's worth.
Well, the assets in their care. So
assets in their care. Okay, those are the portfolios.
The thing is too, though, like they are an asset management company too. So they, like I say, they not only invest heavily in these companies, but they are then also basically like their financial firm advises the companies that they are also then investing in, and it's like, imagine you own a company, and then this advisement firm that you've hired to advise you invests in a near controlling share of your own company, and they're advising you. What are you going to do?
Right.
You're going to follow their advice. And, so...
it's called a hostile takeover, dude.
Yeah, if you haven't heard... Well, it's not hostile. That's not at all hostile takeover. It is basically a...
Well, they're buying controlling interest in the company. That is
it's
very
not always
much a hostile
control.
takeover.
No. A hostile takeover is when you actually have enough controlling. Like we're talking the definition of a hostile takeover is when you do take controlling interests where you then force the sale from the other owners. BlackRock is not at all forcing, and they're not taking total ownership.
It's
but
just
they're
a hostile fucking...
Well, they're basically, it's kind of like a conflict of interest in the sense that you are being hired by these companies as a asset advisor for some of the biggest companies, but then they themselves BlackRock takes their own money and invests into large numbers of shares into the very companies they're advising.
That they're advising.
Which is should be illegal.
That's absolutely should be illegal. It seems a little bit like insider trading when you explain it like that.
Yeah, and
I mean,
yeah, they
not trading per se, but it's insider something.
Huge, and so yeah, if you want to know how, and it's not like the fucking elites are pulling the strings, blah blah. No, they're just. Like, they're getting that much control that they've got, like, a good heavy thumb on a number of different companies. And when you think about it, like, I'm saying, like, their assets within their care, that's like that many companies worth of a value of $6.3 trillion. That's weight.
You know why?
Why?
Green, baby.
Yeah.
Cash rules everything around me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now we're moving on to Teddy, who doesn't have anything in here.
People who fucking order 2 drinks when they go out to eat.
Is that not enough or too many?
What do you mean?
Well, okay, so when you go, you ever been out?
Like right up order 2?
And they're like, hey, can I get like a Diet Coke and a water? And then they never fucking drink the water. Like that just annoys the shit out of me. I had a table of 5 come in today, and every last one of them got a Diet Coke and a water, and not one motherfucker drank the waters.
And they explicitly asked.
They just sat there. They said the glasses just sat there and sweat on the table as they fucking asked for like 4 or 5 refills on a Diet Coke. Not one motherfucker drank their fucking. And it was just annoying. I'm like, dude, people do it all the time. I was like, I've been out with people. I'm like, dude, you can drink your water. I mean, what's the fuck? Why would you order 2 drinks and not drink the other one? What the fuck, you gluttonous bastard?
I guess yeah. When I go out drinking, I will ask.
You know what really
water?
grinds my gears?
Yeah, if I'm drinking, I usually get a water.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a professional move. But if you're saying people just go out for lunch and like, give me a Diet Pepsi and a water. And they're actually asking, rather than you just, it's not an automatic policy to serve waters to everyone, is it, in your restaurant? I take it
No.
it is not.
No.
Otherwise, it wouldn't grind your gears. But yeah, that's ridiculous. The fuck are we asking? And then they're asking for refills on the soda? Like,
Yeah,
Halfway
still
through,
left.
I would have been like, "Hey, let me get these waters out of your way."
Right. When
Yeah.
when
I
they
used-
ask for the refill on the soda, you should just take the water and dump it into their soda cup.
Yeah, right. Take the
Say,
water and just
"Here you
dump
go."
it in the
Down.
booth. Dump it in the booth next to you.
It's like,
It's like, here, I'll fill this up for you. Jerry, clean it up.
or what you should do is just grab the water and just start taking it away with their empty cup for a refill. Oh, I'm like, oh, well, I thought you didn't need the water if you need
Start
more.
drinking it. Fuck them. Anyway, in all seriousness, go fuck yourself, metalheads. That's our show. We're going to be here every Wednesday or Thursday, 10 p.m. Central. Make sure you join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/theredeyereport. Like us, share us, and fuck us. We're down for whatever. I'm Mistic.
I'm Oracle.
This is the ashtray.
I guess it was Teddy because he's gonna want to go last.
Fucking Oracle. Holding out like
Oracle
an old
already
man.
I fucking went, man.
Oh, did you?
guys
Oh,
didn't hear
yeah.
him? He went right
No.
before Ashtray. Yeah.
oh, I didn't hear him. Sorry.
He slipped
What's
in
wrong
there.
with you guys? Do you have selective hearing?
We
Why
do.
don't you-
Of course, we're men. What do you think?
What? Oh, and this is the Red Eye Report.
Boom.